G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in on the west side of the map, playing as the Rus in the colour teal, it's Crackety here. On the east side of the map, spawning in as the Ottomans, playing in the colour blue, representing my insanity, it's Zerden. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, I don't know what number we're up to right now, but welcome to a show match between these two players. These guys have been playing non-stop all day. Before we tell you any more about that, a quick word from our, well, they're not our sponsor, but I mean, I'll be heading to Germany. They'll be sponsoring me some currywurst, so I guess technically they are my sponsor. It's Red Bull Walla Lol. Guys, make sure you check out Red Bull Walla Lol. It is happening this week. It's happening this weekend. I don't know exactly when this video gets uploaded to YouTube, but just know that Red Bull Walla Lol is probably still going at this point. So go check it out. It might even be live right now. I might even be casting right now. So go say g'day. Go check it out. And let's get into this game. And of course, link in the description. That's, you know, if you're wondering. So we got double scout opening coming in from Ottomans, and the reason why is because he's up against the Rus today. So it is going to be a triple scout opening from our Rus player, of course, with the hunting cabin here, going to be allowing him to have that third scout out a little bit earlier than his enemy would be able to do. Fortunately, it looks like he's going to miss the two hunts. There's one hunt here and one hunt here, and we can see that it is absolutely undiscovered here for Crackety. So not the best start for him. Now we will be switching back over to the old spectator UI at some points just to double check on the bounty and see exactly where he's up to. Keep in mind there were a couple of changes most recently to the way that the wolf AI works, most notably that you can't lure wolves away. So this wolf has got a radius that it can be attacked on. So the wolf spawns here, and then it can only be lured to a maximum distance of here. That's it, and then it will return back to its main point, kind of like the boar. So you've got the boar here. He's chilling out. Let's go look at another boar. Let's look at this one. So this boar will move to like here, and that's it, and it will go back. So anyway, where are we up to in this series? You might be wondering. Well, while these guys are fighting it out, I'll explain it to you and let you know exactly how this series is unfolding at the moment. We're going to ride on board with this scout, and we're going to pull it up. So this is what it looks like at the moment. We got the Rus versus Ottoman game for you right now. And before that, we had Ottoman versus the Chinese, and the Mongols versus the Malians, and all of that good stuff. But essentially, all you need to know right now is that it is the last civ standing. When you lose a game, that means that you have to play an OG civilization, one of the original 8 civilizations. And once you've got none left, well, that is it. You've got no more civs standing. And if you can't pick a civilization, that means you lose. So at the moment, it definitely seems like Zerden is up quite a bit. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 civilizations to pick from, whereas Crackety, he's only got 2 civilizations left to pick from. But he does have the advantage this game because he is playing a civilization that he is familiar with, and that is the Rus. And the reason why I would say that you've got the advantage playing an original civ is because these civilizations have been out for a year at this point. Obviously, we're at the 25-year anniversary for the Age of Empires franchise, but we're at the 1-year anniversary for Age of Empires 4. So all of these players are very familiar with the original civilizations. And because of that, I would say the advantage at the moment still goes over to those original civilizations. You know, sure, you might think that the Ottomans might be good in some matchups, or the Malians might be good in some matchups, but for the most part, the good old faithful Rus is going to be coming in for you. And the reason why is because, sure, when it comes to like build orders and things like that, you might be feeling really, really good with your, you know, your Ottoman build order or your Malian build order. But the reality is that you don't have the game knowledge required yet with the civilization to have an understanding about what you should do when it comes to the late game, when it comes to the mid game. You know, even after watching the last game that played, and obviously spoilers because, you know, I'll flash it up on the screen. You can see who won, you can see who lost. But in the last game, Crackety was playing the Ottomans against the Chinese of Zerden. And, you know, afterwards, Crackety was talking with Zerden, and we've got like a little private chat to organize these games. And he basically just said, you know, I think I need to stop going to Imperial with the Ottomans. It doesn't really feel like it's their strength. I think their strength is in the Castle Age. And it's that kind of thing, right? Like, you know when the strength of the Rus is. You know when the strength of the French is, but you don't know. We still don't know. We've got our suspicions, but we don't know for sure exactly when it is. And we've already got a little bit of a cheeky attack out here as he's going to begin pulling the boar out. First villager going to be under attack, and let's see if Zerden's able to take out the scout on the backside. He's going to be able to get it. A little bit of a havoc caused right here. Losing out one of those scouts, and a villager might go down. 75 gold going over to Crackety. And the scout going down. It's going to be a 2 for 2 with all villagers staying alive right now. We are all BG'd up in here. Very nicely played by both of these guys. Both of them picking up a scout for their hard work. Now, one of the things to note that when it comes to the Red Bull Wallalol, when it comes to this event as well, because we've adopted the same rule set, is that the Muslim civilizations, so that means the Rus, or not the Rus rather, that means the Ottomans, that means the Malians, that means the Delhi and the Abbasid dynasty, they cannot kill the boar. They actually can't kill it. So we've specifically said you can't kill the boar. Because there is a bug at the moment. I say bug, it's probably not a bug. It is actually intended by the devs, but I'm not sure whether it's going to get changed. I think it's still something that they're probably looking into. But when this boar gets killed by the Ottomans, or the Abbasid, or the Delhi, or the Malians, the boar disappears. It quite literally disappears. It goes into the map, it disappears. And look, I appreciate that those civilizations can't eat boar or eat pork. But, you know, just because they can't doesn't necessarily mean that they should prohibit other civilizations from also eating it. And so, yeah, it's a little bit imbalanced at the moment just because you can quite literally yeet 2K food into the map very easily. So it's one of the rules that we've had to put in for the moment until it actually gets addressed by the developers. But until then, it's just going to be everybody gets a boar if they want a boar. And I know that kind of sucks, but that's just the reality of it. So that's how it is. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about what we've got going on here as we've got an expansion out over towards the boar hunting cabin, which isn't the nicest hunting cabin. I mean, if you really would have done it the right way, not that we could have had it the right way because of the Ottoman scout, but you would have pulled the boar over here and you would have dropped the hunting cabin down here. But it's still not a bad hunting cabin, 10 gold a minute. Scout at the moment out on the flank, going to be scouting out the base of the Ottomans. We can see it's going to be a double military school opening here for Zertan. I think this might be the third time we've witnessed him playing the Ottomans, and it might be a town center expansion. And there is a town center expansion coming in a 7-minute 30. Not a bad little timing here, but oh, you got to be so careful with a town center like this. I mean, there's a reason why he's going for a town center here, and the reason why is because if you put an outpost in this stealth forest, it's going to shut down. It's really loud for me. It's really loud for me. Anatolian Hills coming in now for Zertan. That is so damn loud. Let's take a look at what the Rus bounty is going to be. We're going to switch over to the perspective of Crackety here, and we're going to do it in the regular UI. So it's going to be a little bit laggy for a second, a little bit buggy. It will look a bit weird for you guys. So we can see he's sitting on 305 bounty. So not a bad little effort for him there. Keep in mind, actually, it's kind of sucky, isn't it? 305. He's already taken the first boar. Second boar will put him up to 380, but it's a solid 305 with the boar, so it's not really solid, is it? But hey, at least he's got that 250 bonus. Let's check in over on the other side of the map. And by the way, keep in mind these games are live, which is why you can see that in the top right-hand corner that number is going to keep going up. We can ride on board with Zertan. Just for a little bit and take a look at his Imperial Council, and you can see he did indeed go for Anatolian Hills. My suspicion is that after this he'll be going into military campus and then typically going into fast training, then advanced academy, and then finally finishing up with siege crews. But we have seen a very high prevalence of Janissary company. We haven't actually seen any siege crews out today. So with that being said, we'll move now over to the caster mode. Your UIs will be a little bit fuzzy. I do apologize in advance. In advance. Second town center now going to be coming down for Crackety. So he looked to gather up stone as well. He's only gathered 50 stone, so 5 vils, 6 vils coming out, and he's done a trade for 300 stone. You can see the spears are now going to be... oh, he's being very cheeky. He knows how important it is for him to get this town center up, but this is going to get denied, at least for the moment. Spearman, oh, this is very awkward timing. A little bit of a ring around the rosy here. And yeah, it's not pretty. Zertan out to a very nice lead here in this game. And now more spearmen coming out. Keep in mind, these spears are coming in for free from the military schools. These are free units that you're contesting this with. So it's always feeling really good as the Ottomans to do this because you're using 100% free units to do this. He gets the... oh my lord, he gets it. He gets the knight. He shuts it down. And now the next knight going to be coming in. At the same time, back towards the enemy base, we do see an early knight and a horseman looking to raid on that deer patch. Not having a whole lot of success, though, as it is repelled. Spahi now going to be coming in. Oh, this is not looking pretty. This might be a quick game right now. Villagers coming in. Sparhy dishing out damage, and look at the, he needs to pull more vills to get this up, but at the same time, the town center gets cancelled. Oh, this is looking terrible. This is really looking terrible right now for Crackety. You might not think, you might be looking at this and thinking, this isn't GG, Drongo. I don't know what you're on about. The reason why it's good game is because double villages already going down. I mean, I say it's good game, but like, it's not really a good game. It's like 90% likelihood that Ottomans win from here. And the reason why is because now we've got Crackety putting a town center down in his base. And not only is Crackety putting a town center down in his base, he is losing control of the deer. And because he's losing control of the deer, he's losing control of food, which means now he has to start thinking about going onto a lesser food source, the berries. In addition to that, with the town center being delayed, he's now going to be behind about a minute on this town center, which means that he's behind 3 villages, so his economy is less. He's also lost villages while he was out here, and he's lost a whole lot of villager gathering time, so there's idle time that's involved there. And when it comes to players at this level, these kind of, not necessarily mistakes, but consequences really start to add up. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the world, but what it does mean is that the food economy now for Crackety is going to be severely hampered. It also means that he's going to have to think about potentially moving on to a farm transition a bit sooner than he otherwise would have liked to have, because he now doesn't have control of the deer out here. He's moved away from the boar, though. The boar has, I guess you could say, emptied. A little bit of scout on scout action. Why not? You guys, I know you guys search for this when you're in your incognito mode, scout on scout action. But up towards the north, it looks like we've got scout on Sparhy action. You guys know that the Sparhy, well, they always come out on top. Anyway, on the south side of the map, we've got a hunting cabin, a little bit of an awkwardly placed hunting cabin. I don't know why he went for the hunting cabin right here. You would have loved to have seen it in the middle here. So maybe a bit under pressure. Perhaps that was the direction that he was going, but loses the mining camp on the stone outcropping. Not a huge loss for him here. Obviously going to have to rebuild this when he starts thinking about going for a keep or a second TC. But there's always going to be other options for him available. Second stone outcropping a little bit closer to the town center. It's about the same distance though, isn't it? It's probably a few more tiles away. You can see, oh yeah, there's that one, and then, yeah, I guess the stone outcropping would be there and there. But anyway, now going to be moving into a bit more of a feudal composition here. Behind this, we can see Zerton with, or stacking up the gold, and I'll switch it over. We can see 9 villagers on gold, which is more than enough villagers to age up. So not only is he thinking about upgrades, getting in that wheelbarrow upgrade now, he's thinking about aging up to the castle age. And that's going to put Crackety in a really bad spot, because Crackety here, he is looking to try and play a very feudal heavy or feudal orientated comp. He wants to be going for mass archers. He wants to be adding in knights. We can see he's picked up all of his economic upgrades that are relevant to him. Obviously not needing the mining upgrade. Mining not really a big part of what he's up to. Only a handful of villagers on the gold mine at the moment. It's all about this food focus. It's all about, the wood focus is all about the food focus. They're the main parts for him. But now in the middle of the map, realizing he may have picked a fight with an army a little bit too big for him, he's playing with fire right now, Crackety. So you got to be careful. Now it looks like we've got an interesting transition, or an interesting vizier point here being spent by Zerton. Instead of going in for the standard military campus, he's actually gone in for the meta, which is also a tier 1. So he's going to have a second meta that's out on the field at the moment, and we've already got a little bit of trouble right here. There's so many Sparhy out right now. Look at the numbers here. They're looking incredible for him. He's able to absolutely shred through this. Now, there are knights on the other side, so Crackety's going to be able to have his own, trying to dish it out. But look at the damage that's coming out, and he's baiting away. The meta, oh my lord, it's on 1 health. He manages to survive. He's got 180 health. I didn't realize the meta was so damn tanky. 180 health. He's got as much health as an early knight. Now Spearman going to be coming out. He's managing to break through, and with that, he's able to salvage the remainder of that archer mass. He falls back out of here. Needs to try and regroup. He wants to get this meta back here, and you can see him slowly attacking, or slowly making his way out, but he manages to keep his head above water. Keep in mind, he's got the second town center been operating this whole time. MIA coming up as well. Mehmed Imperial Armory. Going to be buffing up, or being buffed up rather, by the blacksmith here. So going to be every 2 minutes and 10 seconds, you're going to see a mangonel out of this bad boy, but we do see stables getting thrown down. So expect to see some heavy knight transitions coming in, and look at this. We've got a little bit of a push up at the moment. Crackety with only a handful of units though. Realizing that there might be a little bit of a window here that he's got to hit his enemy before those veterancy upgrades come through, before the mangonel comes in. Let's see if he's going to be able to achieve it. At the moment, Crackety up by about 200 score, but I would... Oh, there was a wolf there. He picks up a wolf. Not a bad little pickup. He's always got the boar up here to the north as well. But yeah, even though the score indicated that Crackety was ahead, I would say do not observe that score. It definitely feels like Zerton's in a much greater position. But now Crackety going to be looking to pick off some villages. That's number 1. That's number 2. Number 3 going to go down here as well. Number 4 also going to go down. So not a bad pickup right there for Crackety. Managing to find a way back in on the economic side. And now that town center going to start firing down. All the villagers from that wood line have made it inside that town center. You can see the meta back here. At the moment, it looks like he's got the ranged armor on here. He's got to be careful. He's only got 1 health on that meta. And now the knight's going to be moving in. These guys are going to be able to clean it up. And he does actually take out the meta. Good little snipe right there from Crackety to focus down that meta. But with the timing here, you can just see the knights that have come out. And beautiful play here from Zerton to go straight into this. Behind this, Crackety is starting to stack up resources, thinking a little bit more about heading into the castle age. And now just going to be leaving the archers to clean up the enemy archers. Instead, now cleaning up the reinforcements at the front. Abbey of the Trinity now being dropped down for Crackety. We'll check in on the other side of the map to see how he's going. Nice and safe in the back of the base. He's got plenty of options out on the map. Look at the way that the relics are as well. I think this might be the first time I've ever seen this. You've got like a little bit of a T formation, or an X formation is probably better to say, coming in here. You can draw an X right there, just beautifully. The relics just very, very well balanced. But now that timing from Zerton going to be coming out, and I'm loving this timing. So looking to hit the enemy with the knights. No walls at this point in the game, which makes it very, very easy for him to just start walking through the base. There's 2 main spots you want to hit Crackety. He's a Rus player, so it's going to be the wood line. It's going to be the food. So find the food sources and hit the wood line, and you're going to be great. So first wood line, no villagers on it. Second wood line, where is it? No villagers on that one either. So at the moment, just all the villagers being moved over to food. More villagers up towards the north, and that's exactly where the knights are going to hit. So unfortunately, it looks like 2 villagers go down. And with that, 2 more villagers probably going to be going down as well. And you can see he's already picked up that +2 ranged armor at the same time towards the south side. Crackety in a little bit of trouble. He's down 8 villagers, and it's only going to continue to get worse. Fortunately for him, attention going to get drawn towards the buildings instead of the villagers. There are villagers down towards the south side. Plenty of them, 8 down here. But now it looks like more and more units just going to be raiding in, and this is where it gets really tough. How do you defend against this? Because you've only got so much space in the town centers. It starts to feel like good game at this point in time, because you're sitting on top of your enemy production. Yeah, they've got crossbows out. Where are your archers? Where are the archers? Oi, what are you guys doing? Get back here. What are you doing? Get over here. Get on over. Looks like he falls back away from this position. He could have camped the production all day. We've got more units coming in. It's going to be the Mangonel as well, timing. Keep in mind, the Mangonel going to do very effectively up against the crossbows. Plenty of villagers still over on the gold for the most part. 66 to 74 villagers. Oh, you crossbows came to the wrong neighborhood. Look at the Mangonel just ready to pounce on them. Look at this beautiful composition, though, coming out from our Ottoman player. And Crackety having a really tough time here, as Zerton demonstrating the power of the Ottomans, really showing right now why the Ottomans are an incredible civilization, and I think probably one of the civilizations that will rise to become S tier. I genuinely think that Ottomans, once people work out their timings, once people work out exactly when you want to start attacking, they are going to be S tier. I genuinely think they are. And it all goes back to that town center being denied. We saw that town center get denied early. It puts Crackety behind. He's on the back foot. He doesn't have control of that food source. And now all of a sudden, because he doesn't have control of the food source, he's got to start looking at the berries. The berries not as strong as the alternative food sources. And it means that when he goes to those food sources later, they're not as safe. And we saw that follow-up raid do a lot of damage. He lost 4 villagers up there when, if there was a town center, he would have only lost 2. Well, to be honest, he wouldn't have lost any, because the raid wouldn't have happened, because there would have been no hunt there, because he would have taken it all from the villagers from the town center. But anyway, it's a long story. All you need to know is that because of the Ottoman timing, and good game gets called, Crackety here going to be losing against Zerton's Ottomans once again. So now it starts to look like Zerton almost certain to win this game. He's really starting to pull ahead. If this is a tennis match right now, think of this as we're heading into the 4th set, and Zerton is up, and it's 4 points to 2 points at the moment. Crackety, he is struggling right now. He's struggling to try and find a way back in. He's down to his weaker civilizations. The Rus have been taken out here. We take a look at the statistics and see how many units were killed. 72 for Zerton. Let's have a look and see what civilizations he's got available to him. The French and the Delhi. Those are the last 2 civilizations. So the next game, guaranteed, you're going to be seeing the Malians out of Zerton, because he just played the Ottomans here and he was victorious with them. Next game, Crackety going to be on either the Delhi or the French. Fellas, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go and check out the Red Bull Waterloo. I'll leave a link in the description. 300k on the line. It's going to be happening. Other than that, next game going to be coming right on up. I'll see you guys in the next one.